Tonya Harding became so popular after this that they even made a movie for it. It's about the brutal assault on Nancy Kerrigan by a then unknown person. The mystery man used a police baton to strike Nancy on her landing knee. You can see her crying, unable to get off the ground. They later found out that Tonya's husband hired the attacker to end Kerrigan's career.
What happened?
Baseball player Will Smith got ejected from a baseball game for having pine tar on his forearm, a substance considered sticky and therefore illegal in baseball.
Well, when it's a little bit cold, windy like it is tonight.
It happens to the best of us. Here's LeBron James faking a hit in the neck. Maybe he thinks he's haunted. So this girl in the yellow jersey smashed the goalie just like you should smash that like button if you haven't done so already. Oh, don't be like her. She punched the goalie and still failed to score. Why did the Cuban athlete who won this race get disqualified? Well, everything seems fine at first, but then you get to see the slow motion and close-up footage of the event, and you can clearly see he was pushing the Chinese representative back. Take a close look at this shot. Why do you think it was illegal? Well, take a look at this close-up shot. Do you see it now? That wasn't a practice swing. He was removing the sand thinking he wouldn't get caught. Well, it's easy to run a marathon if you're taking the bus to get to the finish line, and this is exactly what this man did. And it wasn't just one bus, he needed several to get to the destination and briefly win third place. The reason we say briefly is because he was stripped of the bronze medal when they found out how he cheated. And his argument was, it's not cheating if you're running inside the bus. Now, is it really cheating if you want to take a closer look at your opponent's leg when he's next to you? We don't think so. It looks like an ordinary bicycle. It feels like an ordinary bicycle. That is, until you start riding it. This lady cheated by placing a small, unnoticeable electric motor inside her bike that made her speed up and slow down at will. The way she controlled it is by a little button in the handlebars. Want to see a grown-up child throw a tantrum? Well, here you go. There are a lot of these in soccer. Oh look, he's still going. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to grab this dude's hand and I'm going to smack myself in the face with it. Oh crap, the cameras! Bradley Beal is getting ready to star in the new version of Space Jam, and since he had to practice acting somewhere, he did it on the court. Even his opponents applauded.
Applauding the acting.
Wow!
In March of 2018, the Australian cricket team got a lot of heat from the media and the public. Why? Well, because they were seen doing this on national TV. Don't worry, it's not what you think, but it's still bad. They were rubbing the balls. Cricket balls, that is. And the reason you see them reaching down their crotch is because they were all pulling out a small piece of sandpaper to shave off a piece of the ball. They were caught before they could do some serious damage and only received a minor penalty. They got a 1-year ban from cricket. Lexi Thompson escaped the eyes of the jury, but she didn't escape the eyes of a hater. No one noticed she moved the ball about an inch off the original position, except for that guy. He then emailed the tournament officials, and just like that, Thompson lost the tournament.
Is this a joke? No, whatever. That's just ridiculous.
Have you ever heard of anyone being fined 30 grand for a head turn? Well, this dude was, but then again he turned during a $1 million tournament to peek at the strategy of the opposing team. Ball bounces off the ground. The ref didn't notice. What do? Keep playing, of course, but then you forget they have those pesky cameras that see everything. Well, esports are getting more and more popular every day, so Daniel Abt decided to participate in the race, but he had connectivity issues. Turns out he got a better player to take his place and ride instead of him. The way he hid it? Well, he tried to hide it, at least by hiding his friend's face with a monitor, but seems like he doesn't know how cameras work. And that's him in the background. Hi! The Jets found a helper. Sadly, the help came in the form of assault. New York Jets coach Sal Alossi actually tripped and toppled one of the players for the Miami Dolphins. Thankfully, the player was unharmed. However, on later inspection, they found Alossi guilty. He publicly apologized to the NFL and said he would accept any punishment they would deem fit. He was suspended for the rest of the season and was fined $25,000. When you fail the first time, don't give up. But don't you dare try harder. Oh no, those are for the guys that have integrity. You're a spineless jellyfish that will jeopardize the competition just because you're bitter. This dude is probably the main reason they have immovable lines in tournaments. Otherwise, a-holes like him will try to move them out of the way. Did he think no one was going to notice? In a game against Turkey, Brazil's player Ferreira got hit in the leg with the ball. He immediately fell down, as do all of the soccer players we've seen so far, and the refs believed him. They gave the Turkish player a red card, penalising him for the rest of the game and giving Brazil the advantage. They later confronted Ferreira and fined him $11,500. Seems like a small price to pay for winning a soccer match.
It could well be a red card here. Hakan Unsal.
Murray got the point against Novak Djokovic, but at what cost? Seriously, shouldn't professionals know that you're not supposed to go over the net? It's copyrighted, but if we could, we'd play Rolling in the Deep by Adele when Neymar did this on the soccer field. Where in the world was he going? And the memes. Oh God, the memes. In a game against Argentina and England, Diego Maradona, arguably the best soccer player in human history, was caught cheating in the middle of the game. He scored with the hand of God, as he claimed later in an interview. But it was his hand that touched the ball, as can be clearly seen in the photographs. Mike Tomlin is a football coach that got fined $100,000 for jeopardizing this player's touchdown. If you look closely, you will see one of his feet is on the court, and he moved at the very last second. This made the opponent slow down, and one of his players caught up to him. Hope it was worth the $100,000, Mike. We can't really use the word we want to describe this guy, but you know what we mean. Can you imagine he actually pulled his opponent's brake in the middle of the race? That could have been the beginning of something much worse. The authorities thought, nah, and suspended him for only 2 races. Julie Miller won Ironman Canada in July of 2015, but there was a problem. She was nowhere close to being in the lead, and she didn't have the stats like Suzanne Davis. The whole situation started smelling fishy when Miller ran away from the press and the media as soon as they handed her the prize. Curious, the judges calculated the time it took her to finish the race, the eyewitness testimonies, and some of the route tracks, and they discovered that she was taking shortcuts. Her first place was taken away and given to Davis instead. She still claims she won Ironman. Man, Russia just can't catch a break. Back in 2014, right after the Winter Olympics, 117 guys were found using illegal substances and faking medical records. They were immediately disqualified from the Olympics for 4 years. Man, no one can fall like Neymar. This dude goes to soccer practice and probably has a special fake injury session when he rehearses these BS flops. Remember those guys that were faking injuries on the soccer field? Well, the Pacers have their Edmund Somners that did the same. At least his was a little believable at first. Lance Stevenson fell down. Lance Stevenson pretended to be dead. Lance Stevenson opened one eye. Lance Stevenson saw the whole world watching him. Well, one of the Warriors infiltrated the Pelicans' hurdle. Draymond Green thought he was being funny, but listening to your opponent's strategy could be pretty costly. Even the commentators were pissed.
You can elbow him right to the face. He can't be in your huddle. It's not a game right now. It's not cute.
Again, regardless of what happened between you two before the race, you never kick your opponent while he's driving. It's a human being, for Christ's sake. Thanks for watching, guys.